Well, my biggest question is I think that the perimeter is not designed properly in these outdoor settings. We learned in Butler, Pennsylvania, the perimeter was too narrow and it excluded the building from which the shooter ended up shooting at Donald Trump. And here, again, the fence line is way too close to Donald Trump. And as a protectee, he should not be within range of a high-powered weapon from the public who could just come right up to the fence line.
I think, yeah, I did this last hour. I think it's instructive because you brought it up to do it again this hour. On our tablet, we have the golf course, Trump International, holes 4 through 7. And what you're talking about, the fence line, are public roads, right? One that goes right along here, along the course, and one on the other side. Now, remember, Trump was here on the 5th green. The shooter somewhere, we think, the alleged shooter was somewhere back here on the 6th hole. And if you look at the 6th hole, Trump never got there, remember? After putting on the 5th green, they saw the guy, took some shots at him. He took off. This, Congressman, is the 6th hole. We just took it off their website. You know, the golf courses always put the animation up. So there to the left by those trees, that's the street, right? Then there's a little dog leg to the right. There it goes. And I'll pause it here for a second. This is not only the fence line, but the shrubbery and the bushes behind this bunker and the second bunker, which goes behind the green and right in here by the water. This is the 6th green right here. There's a lot of space, right, where you can't be seen. Now, you're saying, you use the word perimeter. Tough part, this isn't a rally or a political event. He's playing golf, right? So golf courses present challenges. So how should they handle it?
Well, I think that where you have the fence line so close to a publicly accessible area, I think that, they might need to put up barricades in that type of vicinity. That was a lesson that we learned from Butler. Mm-hmm. If you're not going to include the building in the perimeter, then you need to put up barricades so that a shooter is blocked from actually seeing the scene. And so my biggest question is, in the age of high-powered weapons, how do you design the perimeter in a way such that the public isn't within shooting range of the protectee, especially when the protectee insists on doing these public events outdoors?
Here's the other thing. The guy, according to cell phone records, was waiting outside the perimeter of this 6th hole in those bushes somewhere for like 12 hours. He got there 2 in the morning, they're saying. So it'll probably come up at the briefing. Maybe it's different for a former president, or maybe but wouldn't they have swept that perimeter, whatever it is, you would think, before he plays, even if he's playing on late notice? I mean, the guy was there for hours and hours.
That's right. That's a big, how can you not know about him for 12 hours? Before the president is playing. One other thing I just want to point out, which is that I don't understand for the life of me how this nut, this Mr. Routh, could have gotten his hands on an AK-47 style weapon with such a criminal record. I don't know if you already talked about this, but he has all kinds of convictions for a number of crimes. The fact that he can have access to an AK-47 style weapon, or any weapon, is ridiculous.
Yeah, we don't know why, I don't think, because the serial number was scrubbed off of it, right? So apparently they're looking into that. They don't know they don't know the origin of the gun, to your point. So we don't know, did he buy it in Florida, North Carolina? We don't know which even gun laws to look at because of that at this point.
That's exactly right. And so given the ubiquity of these AR-15 style weapons or AK-47 style weapons, whatever you want to call them, then the Secret Service has to take additional precautions to make sure that the protectee, is out of harm's way. My biggest concern, Connell, I'll just be very upfront with you, is, I don't know that we've learned the lessons of Butler. And if we didn't learn the lessons of Butler, and we don't learn the lessons of this particular incident, there's 50 days left, and we have to do everything we can to protect Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, everyone from any harm.
Is there bipartisan support in Congress for the exact same protection for former President Trump that current President Biden has right now?
I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. I don't think we should stick to old protocols in the light of what we know right now in terms of a heightened threat environment towards Donald Trump. I think that whatever protection he needs at this point, let's give it to him. There's no reason not to. I'm not saying that they've withheld any protection, but I think at this point, we just got to keep Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, Mr. Vance and Mr. Waltz all safe.
Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.